Hi. Tomorrow I want to start to make the new solar arrays, and yeah, when I arrived I had to remove one row of the existing array here at the garage. There have been 24 panels here in front of the garage as a carport, and now there's only 16 of them left. In order to maintain a certain amount of panels here, of course, I can only extend the mount in this direction here. So I want to use the space here until the border to the neighbor here, and what I can put here is 2 panels here on the top row and then 3 here on the other row. Before, the 24 panels have been connected to 3 inverters, but now this will be only connected to 2 inverters. So I already connected these first 12 panels, these are 12 300 watt panels, to 1 inverter. So before that inverter had only 10 panels, now it's 12, but this is no problem. We have a hot climate here, so the inverters are never maxed out anyways. And the other 4 here are on 1 inverter at the moment, and they will get back another 5. So before it had 9 panels, and it will be later on again 9 panels. So the mount which I will now continue to build here will be purely made of steel. So these columns here are concrete, but the rest will be here steel. There will be 1 here and 1 there, then a beam like this, and then we have our beams where the panels are connected this way around, and that will be it. What we also have to add before I make the footing here is a new grounding rod. The reason for that, I have a grounding rod here already at the first column, but this one will probably have to go. These 2 columns here will have to go. Now, before they made the new street here, the cars were parking nose in to the garage like this. But after they make the street here, there will be no access to park like this, and the car which want to use the charger here will have to park like this in parallel to the garage. So these 2 have to go, and there will be a new attachment for the solar, for the carport somewhere here. Maybe I make some steel construction like this, or just connect it to the roof, and yeah, I will see. This is a grounding rod which will be put into the soil there. It's a 1.80 meter rod, and yeah, it's perfect for this kind of stuff. Why don't I just connect the mount to the earthing system of the garage? Well, this is for lightning and for surge protection on the DC side. And when you are dealing with lightning, you want your energy which is induced on the steel and inside the wires here, you want to bring it to the soil on the most direct way as possible. So that's why I'm not bothering with the earthing system of the garage. This energy which is created here outside needs to go straight into the soil. The inverters inside, of course, they are connected to the earthing system in the garage. So when we have a rod here, new rod here, the next rod is somewhere up there. It's about 8 meters away, so this is absolutely no problem. They are not too close to each other, and yeah, I'm going to hammer the rod into the soil here and then prepare the footing for this column and pour some concrete. So yesterday I quickly poured the concrete here for the first foundation. So this is one column here, which now has my grounding rod included there, and the other one will be there right at this wall. So I will screw this one here onto this column there. Yeah, this will be now my next jobs. I will prepare these two columns here and then a beam which will connect from there to here, similar to these ones here. So two columns, one beam, and then they will be connected already by these beams, which are then finally holding the solar panels. So this is the job today, and by the end of the day actually I want to have the solar panels already laying on those beams and produce some power. You see, we have already moved the hotel sign from there where it was before to this side. So now it's not in the way for the street, and it will also not cast a shadow on the solar area in future. This is the steel I'm going to use. It is a galvanized steel. Here this is 3 by 3 inch for the posts, then we have the beams, the big ones 2 by 4 inch, and then the smaller ones where the panels are sitting on 1.5 by 3 inch. Two posts are prepared. You see on the long one here, which will be at the back, I have made myself this sort of corner brackets from the same steel, and this will be welded on that one to then be screwed on the wall as a additional support. On the top end I've made this kind of cutouts, and here the beam will sit inside and then it will be welded to the post. On this one, it's just on one side because it will be the end of the beam. Of wall anchors here to mount this post now to the wall. A 10mm hole. Yeah, should be okay. I had them laying around at home, so why not use it? So, and that's it. I have now fixed this one post in place. Now I have to measure the distance from here to here, so where the other post would be, and prepare a beam, so then I can place the other post together with the beam and then weld everything together. So the second post and the beam is set in place, and now the next is one of these ones, which is then actually carrying the solar panel. And how do I connect them? Well, I just cut out a piece from the steel here, make the holes, and this will then be like pushed over the other beam which is already existing, and then I'm just using the roof screws to connect them. This looks then actually like this, like I did it here already. So you see the new one is just pushed over the old, and the roof screws are then connecting the two parts. I will do the same now on this side, and then we have our first beam running this way, and once all four are set, then I will just go and weld the joints together, like here, here, etc. Yeah, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and after about 5 hours of working, the mount extension is finished. I can now start and put back on solar panels. I have 5 340 watt panels which belong to this old original string. So it's those 4 already, and now there will be 2 more on the upper row and 3 on this one. And then we have again 9 340 watt panels on that inverter. I've noticed that I'm not using a rail system to mount the panel. So how do I do it? I'm using actually the clamps from such a system, but at the end I only take a self-tapping roof screw and a locking washer, and this is then just directly screwed into the steel. So the reason for this is just because, you know, with the steel I can make much larger spans from one beam to the other one, so I don't need an extra rail to add for the panels. And this is very strong. An hour has passed and the area is finished. Everything turned out to be really nice. So why did I only put 5 panels there and not a 6th one? Well, the 6th one would have intruded on the neighbor's property, so that's why our border of the land is somehow like this, and this is the only way how I could stay away from the border. But every space is used now. The only thing to do now, what's left, is to connect the strings, and this is what we are going to do now. All the connectors are hanging here now. We have one panel which is the first, which is already connected with its plus pole to this junction box. Inside there is, as you know, surge protection and the fuse. And yeah, so we are going now panel by panel in a circuit, and then coming back here on this panel, going back to the junction box. And this is what I'm going to do now. It would just take a few minutes, and then the string is up and running again. Electrical circuit now again. Some people always ask, is it dangerous to connect solar panels when the sun is shining? And of course, no, it's not. As long as there is no load on the panels, there is no current flowing, and no current means no arcs, so no danger for that. Let's see if everything is working. This is my disconnect. I have a simple knife switch as my disconnect. Let's switch on the inverter. Inverter also has a DC switch, and yeah, it will take now 1 minute, a little bit longer, for the inverter to turn on, synchronize to the grid, and then we will see how much the output is. Before, the output was somewhere around 150 volts with 4 panels, and here it's already, as you can see now, 363 volts. Right, it's 9 panels in series, so this is working. The amps are 0 at the moment, of course, because the inverter needs to wait, stand by for the grid. Now it turned on. The amps should now start rising also. And yes, 1200 watts. It's very late in the afternoon now, Another 3 panels left. These are 3 300 watt panels, and what the plan is with these panels I will show you then in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe as always, and I see you next time.